30. There we go. Ah, that's much better. I'm trying this new model where I am documenting my thoughts while I'm on my spinning bike, just exercising and talking to you guys at the same time, and just using these live models as a way to just go live with you guys. Do you guys have my audio? How's my audio? I don't know if you can tell, but I'm on my spinning bike. How come I can't see the top chat? Audio is okay? Yes, it's good. Alright. Cool. So yeah, this is just my new way of just exercising while talking to you guys. What do you guys think? Is this a good way to do more live streams? Ghost Bunny saying hello. Yeah, I guess that the live chat only shows up as when you guys type something and then it disappears. Let me just, there we go. This is my new way of going on. I'm on my Matthew saying, is Armin hopping? I'm on my spinning bike. Are you not listening to me? Do you not understand what I'm saying? Oh, message retracted. Okay. Alright, so I don't know if you saw the title. The title is Ishmael and Muhammad. So let's try to keep it on topic, okay? So, oh my god, you guys are talking. Yo, you guys are tagging me and talking about things that are not relevant. Great, thank you. I was thinking about Muhammad and Kaaba and the whole story behind when Muslims originally prayed towards Jerusalem, prayed towards the Dome of the Rock, and then switched praying towards the Kaaba at some point during Muhammad's prophethood, right? And you know how when you leave Islam originally, if you are under the influence of so many other ex-Muslims, and you're also another atheist, and you see everything as completely idiotic and moronic, and everything in Islam just sounds so stupid. Once you get over that phase, you start to appreciate certain details that you might have missed, right? And I was thinking about how genius this move was, right? Think about the environment, if any of this is historic, and this is a huge if, right? Let's just act like, even if it's fiction, the character of Muhammad, from a prophethood perspective, seems incredibly brilliant, especially in this move, okay? Think about the environment that Muhammad is in, right? The two main ideologies that are there. And he has this new movement that is starting. And he's trying to appeal to the highest number of people. What do we have in this environment? We have idol worshippers and either Jewish people or people that are under the influence of Abrahamic way of thinking, like people who worship the God of Abraham. I don't know, they're Christian, they're Jewish, there's some other thing that I forgot what they're called, but there's some other monotheists that I don't know what they were, but they were kind of something in between. I forgot their name. But again, I know a lot of you are ex-Muslims and you might not appreciate what I'm about to say because you're just like, oh, Islam bad. But there's some genius in this move. Think about where the Jewish narrative, right? Where they left Ishmael in the story. Okay? Who's Ishmael? Or Ismail as we know it in Islam. Who is he? Right? He's Abraham's first son of Hagar, right? And from the biblical narrative in Judaism, we know that Abraham, at the request of Sarah, banished his first son and his sex slave, basically Hagar, or I don't know what you want to call it, banished them both out, right? And we don't know what happened to them based on the Jewish narrative. So that's such a perfect opportunity for Muhammad to pick up that story, right? It was just there for grabbing. Like, it's a story that was never picked up and never completed. Yes, exactly, Mortal Skeptic. He took a loose end, right? And what did he do with that story? So think about it. You have a lot of people in Mecca and Medina that come from a background of idol worshippers, right? And then you have these other groups of people who are influenced by Abrahamic, by Jewish and Christian stories. Your God, Allah, is the God of the Jews. So you're not going to give credit at all to the gods that the idol worshippers worship. There's no way that you're going to accept that, right? But you also want to have a connection emphasized to the people with the Jewish and the Christian background. You want to emphasize to them that this God, this Allah that you're worshiping, is the God of their prophet. So you want to make sure that they understand that. But in the context that, in the environment that your prophethood exists, even though you're completely denying, you're completely going against the gods of the idol worshippers, like there's no bridge building when it comes to their God, there needs to be some connection made to the Arabs at that time and to the symbolism and what they're familiar with. You know, it seems like this whole worshipping towards the Dome of the Rock, that is so foreign to the Arabs at that time that something had to change in Muhammad's career as a prophet. He realized that all of this idea, because I mean, when it comes to Medina, there's some Jews over there, but most of the Arabs that he were appealing to, they were like idol worshippers. And you as a prophet, you're coming and you're marketing this religion that just seems so foreign to us, and we have been we want us to pray towards the direction to this place that we don't even know what the hell is there. That we don't. I mean, yes, we're familiar with Jesus' stories, Mary's stories, and Abraham. We know these stories, but this is not the religion of the Arabs. Like we know Kaaba. We know Kaaba as the symbolism of Kaaba is what we're familiar with. So the genius of bringing these two together, the gods of Abraham, the God of the Jews, and the symbolism of what the Arabs worship, and to put the Arabs at the center of Abraham's God. So basically telling the Arabs that this is your God first. The Jews and the Christians, they got it wrong. This place that we are is the center of all of the story. Okay? So you take Abraham's son Ishmael and you pick up the story from where the Bible left it up, and you like, you know where they went? They came here. Ishmael came here to Mecca. And this Kaaba that you guys have put all your idols in, Ishmael built that with Abraham. You're saying, you know, you guys are putting your idols in this in this house? This is Allah's house. You connect something they're familiar with, which is the Kaaba, which is the central piece of their entire religion and ideology, and you connect that to the God of the Jews. You bring two communities together. I don't know if you understand how genius that is, okay? You say Ishmael was, not only Ishmael came here, Abraham actually came and visited him. Forget the idea that this seems ridiculous because Abraham was like all the way up there. Like the whole story of the Bible happens all the way up in the north. All of it in a very small area. So for Muhammad's story to be true, Abraham had to just take a giant detour out of like all that area that like between, I don't know, Egypt and Syria and all of that land is like just not that very far from each other, right? Guys, if I'm gonna put you guys on, guys, if you keep wanting to talk about things that are behind me and stuff, I'm gonna put you on timeout. Like we're talking, look at how ridiculous some of you guys are. I'm sharing something very interesting with you guys, and that's what you're focusing on. It's amazing how small-minded some of you are. Let me focus on Mortal Skeptic. He knows what's up. Mortal Skeptic is saying Mecca also had an incentive to go against Islam because it would cost them. Going against Islam because it would cost them, but with Muhammad incorporating the Kaaba, that gets rid of the fear that Arabs had. Yes, because it was too. Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. That seemed like an olive branch, right? That seemed like an olive branch to the Arabs at that point. That seemed like you are Muhammad. You're just changing way too much. You are, at one olive branch seemed to be to recognize some of the pagan gods, and then Muhammad regretted that, and he said the daughters of some pagan gods were being recognized, and then eventually Muhammad said, no, those were satanic verses. I made a mistake. That wasn't God telling me. So that olive branch was too big of an olive branch because it was recognizing the gods. But this other olive branch, when it comes to just recognizing the centrality of Kaaba and making it a significant part, instead of praying towards the Dome of the Rock, praying towards the Kaaba, that was an olive branch that kept the nature of God intact, making the centrality, the oneness of God, the Tawheed, not challenging that, while at the same time acknowledging the symbol, making the Kaaba, making Mecca, and making the city that is so important to these Arabs at that time, keeping that there and changing the story of Abraham in a way that Ishmael becomes a key figure in Abraham's life, and not only a key figure, the son that Abraham sacrificed, not Isaac, but Ishmael. So the whole story of Abraham makes Kaaba a major part of the story and makes Ishmael a key figure, right? Ishmael is supposed to be the ancestor of all the Arabs. That son becomes a more important son compared to Isaac, right? The son that Arabs were born from becomes more important and more important of a figure than the ones that the Jews were born from. So I think this is very genius because again, this brings these two communities together, right? Like think of how using the power of stories, if you want to make a religion that convinces both the Arabs with a Jewish mindset and the Arabs with the mindset of the Arabs that were worshipping idols and had Kaaba at the most important holy place in their life. If you want to make a story that appeals to both of them and unifies a community of people, unifies all tribes under one banner, this is the story that you come up with. And I am definitely not smart enough to be able to come up with a story that accomplishes that. And for Muhammad to come up with a story like that, and it was success. So it's a genius story in theory, and then we see in practice also it worked, right? You managed to unite all the tribes with that with that branding. So in practice it works as well. I mean that is genius. Anyways, let me see what you guys are. If you guys have anything more useful to say, some of us are listening. Okay, but do you understand what I'm saying? Dolly is saying so he built the Kaaba with his son Ishmael. Well, you know the story, Dolly. You know Abraham. Yes, Abraham. The story is that Ishmael, that according to the Quran, that the Kaaba was built by Abraham. I mean, historically, that's a ridiculous explanation. Like here's the thing, as somebody that wants to like objectively analyze the story, you could be like, okay, that's ridiculous, right? Abraham just like one day like just came all the way down there. So yeah, Ishmael was outcasted and he went all the way to Saudi Arabia, what we know today as Saudi Arabia, and that's where he like how does Hagar and Ishmael just wander off and find their way all the way to Arabia, right? That seems like wandering a lot, right? And also, by the way, Ishmael's like Hagar was looking for water, and then Ishmael is like, crying. They're so thirsty, and a miracle happens, and water comes from exactly where Ishmael is sitting, and that's basically the Zamzam water, right, in Mecca. And then apparently that's where Hagar and Ishmael stay. And then when Ishmael gets older, Abraham just comes for a visit one day, and Ishmael and Abraham decide to just build the house of God, which another story is that it was there from Adam and Eve time, which is another ridiculous thing. I know, like, historically, this story is just stupid and makes no sense, but symbolically is genius, right? So going to the Arabs and be like, hey, you think like, so at first people thinking like this Muhammad, this whole movement that he's having, this whole Islam thing, is too radical of a change, like, but then Muhammad thinking, not only I'm not taking your symbol, your Kaaba away from you, I just decided to make your Kaaba more important than you even recognize. Like this thing that you're making so corrupt with your evil idols, let me tell you something. This thing was here from the beginning of time. And then it was destroyed. And then Abraham and his son, they built this house. And I was like, what? Say what? Right? Yeah. So this Abrahamic God, this God of Abraham that I'm telling you we need to worship, he built that thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I just felt like marketing wise, it's just amazing. Murtad Skeptic is saying, yeah, they say Adam was the first one to build the Kaaba, but it was destroyed in a flood. Yes. and then it was rebuilt by Abraham. Dolly saying her husband was an a-hole. How the man left her wife and abandoned her with his son. Men didn't have any manners back then, lol. Okay, Dolly, blaming it all on men. Who made Abraham? Who asked? Okay. You just blame everything on men, Dolly. Well, let me ask you this. Why did Abraham do that? Why did Abraham abandon Hagar? Who asked Abraham? Was it not Sarah? Was it not Sarah that asked Abraham to abandon Hagar? So yeah, don't I'm not excusing Abraham, but it wasn't just the men that were being a-holes, okay? It was Sarah that actually it was Sarah first of all who asked Abraham to have a baby with Hagar, and then as soon as it happened, she was like, I don't know, I don't like this. Get rid of her. So yeah. Women were don't yeah. I'm gonna don't worry, guys. I'm here to defend us men against men hating people like Dolly. Okay, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to defend our gender. Matthew saying so the tribe of Ishmael is just Jewish Hebrew. No, the tribe of Ishmael is Islamic propaganda. Okay, so the Jews came from Isaac. Murtay saying couldn't even make up their minds back then. Back then, Sarah sounds like every single woman I ever dated. What are you talking about? No, back then, when have they not? No, I'm just kidding. Ghost when he's saying Armin hashtag not all men. Yeah. I don't know. Abraham was just like seemed like an Elish. Sarah was like, get a sex slave and have baby with her. And Abraham was like, okay. And Sarah was like, I don't like it. I don't like that you have a baby with her. Get rid of both of them. Abraham was like, okay. So yeah, Abraham was just like a beta. Anyways, I'm done talking. You guys let me know. Now if you want to talk about something different, we could talk about something different. If you have any thoughts. I'm done talking about Ishmael. Any questions? I burned 120 calories so far while talking to you. See, this is so productive, isn't it? I'm doing a stream while exercising. Man, I'm so awesome at multifunctioning. Look at this. I'm doing 3 things at the same time, right? I am exercising, and I have a thought, and I want to write it down, and like, why write it down when I could just do a stream and tell you guys about it, and it's already documented. So this is me documenting my thoughts, doing a stream, and exercising at the same time. The most effective. I'll let you know a secret. This is how I'm going to write books as well. Right? So I could write books, or I could just come up with stories and chapters, and instead of like bothering and just like editing and thinking about the best way to phrase something, every time I have an idea for the next chapter, I'll just come here and tell you my ideas on what the chapter is going to be, and then I'll send the video to a writer and I'm like, here are my thoughts. Turn it into a chapter, right? And then I'll take the writer's notes and I'll send it to an editor and like edit this, and that would be a chapter. So I could just basically stream and finish books at the same time while burning calories. This is like so effective. Idris is saying my egg white consumption has increased tenfold over the last 3 months. Good. Best source of protein. Terrell is saying, since this fits European sleeping patterns, how about this image? You're like an exercising equivalent of Aristotle, just pondering ideas when exercising. Oh, okay. Sure. Simple Guru Armin. Yes. Oh, Idris just became a member. Hey, wow, Hell's Refugee. Wait, did you... Welcome. Oh, you upgraded? Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Idris. Mortad saying, I remember the story of Ishmael being sacrificed when it was told to me. Yeah, by the way, a lot of people don't know that in the Islamic version of the story, it wasn't Isaac that was sacrificed, it was Ishmael. So basically, the Jews think that their ancestors was being sacrificed by Abraham, and the Arabs think that no, it was their ancestor. Ishmael is the ancestor of all Arabs, and allegedly, and Isaac is the ancestor of all the Jews, and that makes Arabs and Jews related. Basically, Abraham is the granddaddy of all Arabs and Jews, right? So, anyways, but yeah, they have a different narrative about it was like they both say no, it was our ancestor that Abraham almost sacrificed. So wait, Martin Skeptic is saying, told me being so frightened, and I kept asking how. What? How Abe knew that his dreams were from God. Like, I could easily have dreams like that. Well, you're not a prophet, Mortaz, so you don't know. I'm pretty sure prophets can tell the difference. I'm kidding. How do I know it's just a random dream, or what if it's Satan? How can you tell? Actually, that's a very good point, because apparently Muhammad couldn't tell. Anyways. Alright. Okay, I'm going to end this around here. Razam saying Abraham probably hated himself for being... What are you talking about? Oh, wait. Actually, that's funny. I thought you were being ridiculous, but that's a pretty good joke. Razam is saying Abraham probably hated himself for being Arab and Jewish at the same time. That's actually a very subtle joke. I almost didn't catch that. That's a pretty subtle, clever joke. Wait, the Arab side of him and the Jewish side of him was an internal struggle it became a self-hating. God. That is a very subtle, clever joke. Damn. Okay, that's good. All right, let's end this. How do you? By the way, this is the first time I'm streaming on my phone, so I have no idea on how to end the stream. Oh, I guess you just click on that X thing and it will be over, right? Anyways, guys, this was fun. Burned around. By the way, let me just give you a pro tip. These machines, the calories that they say on it that you burn, it's not accurate at all. Not at all, okay? However, that doesn't make them useless, okay? Because the only thing you're trying to do is to be consistent, or to try to burn more calories than last time, right? So, as long as the machine is consistent in the measurement, it doesn't matter if it's inaccurate, right? So if I could see like, oh, okay, starting on this bike, it seemed like it could burn like 1,000 calories a day according to this machine. If I get it up to like 1,200, that's progress, right? So if the 1,000 was 800 and now I'm like, I don't know, 1,000, as long as I have a benchmark to work with, then the calorie counter is effective. So it doesn't matter if it's inaccurate, it's still useful. Anything last that you guys said? Thanks for taking the time, Armin. I will raise the EU 12-star flag. Thank you, EU 12-star flag in your honor. Thank you. Do that. Yes, do that, please. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. This is too much fun. I might stay here forever, so bye.